Good morning, YouTube family. Martinez Country Home here. So today, guys, I wanted to talk about something that I haven't really heard it talked about much, and that's the fact that corporations are trying to become basically their own sovereign nations. There are corporations that are trying to create their own. I forgot the term they use. Basically, their own. It's like their own cities, and there is a name for them, a term. And the ones that are doing that is basically the tech companies, influence cities or something along those lines. But the significance of that is that you can almost tie it to Citizens United versus the FEC. Citizens United versus the FEC was where the court ruled that corporations could donate money to candidates, political candidates, to their campaigns. And what happened from that is that basically it gave corporations, it basically stated that corporations are persons, that they have some rights, some rights, and that they can basically operate as a person. Okay. Now, throughout the years that I've been studying about this subject, you gain knowledge little by little. It's not all at a time. It's not all at one time. So it's gonna be kind of hard to explain the concept. And I might have touched on this already. All of these things are related, but I'm gonna talk about, and also to the health crisis and the things that they want people to do, the band-aids that they are trying to implement. And by they I mean like the governments and the health offices, the various health departments, stuff like that. Another story that I found out about yesterday, and this came from Gregory Manorino. He has a video blog. And for anything financial, guys, or having to do with the economy, that's what I go to. I'm not trying to, well, I am kind of pushing this channel, but if you want to know what's going on and how to prepare, the best way, I have yet to see anybody that even comes close to what he talks about and how you can apply it to your situation. As far as what's happening around the country. Okay, so he said yesterday, and I wasn't aware of this. Oh my God, these people, man. I wasn't aware that, well, I kind of was aware, I just hadn't really thought about it in that way, but the Federal Reserve can actually buy defaulted bonds. Okay, so we're talking about, it's been in the news about how the United States, the debt ceiling, how they want to do away with it or raise it, blah, blah, blah. For all intents and purposes, guys, I mean, there really is no debt ceiling. I mean, that's all theater for the masses. The Federal Reserve can print to infinity, and even one of the ex-Fed chairpersons, Alan Greenspan, he had said, Americans don't have to worry about them not getting their Social Security or their benefits because we'll just print it up. And so that's what they've done. They'll just print it up. That was weird. They'll just print up the money. Only thing is, of course, is that it's gonna lose its nominal. The nominal value will be the same, the number, but what it can buy will be much less. They'll just dilute the money supply. And so what I'm getting at, guys, is that the Federal Reserve is basically a corporation, and they are in the business of selling money. You know, they sell money. That is their product. Is debt. They sell debt. You know, and debt is money. So I'm right. So the theme of this video today is the corporations. They've taken over the natural world, and corporations are a dead entity. They don't exist, guys. Really, they're just a group of persons that have gotten together, and they have limited liability. They have basically all the rights a natural flesh and blood human being has, and none of the liability. At least the people that make up the corporation, only as so far as the money that corporation makes. You know, the investors, or whatever you call the board of directors, or whatever, whoever owns those companies all together. And so we have all these band-aids and all these intrusions into our lives, right? And it's being done by corporations, by governments, right? And who do you, and you cannot hold them accountable, you know, or at first glance you can't hold them accountable, because it's a process, it's a system that we're going up against. But in reality, guys, it's a corporation. The corporations are ruling over our lives, and more they're the ones. They have lobbyists that are writing up laws to benefit them, and they've basically taken over all life in this planet, on this planet. And again, you get hints of that, especially like through Hollywood. If y'all ever seen that movie Resident Evil, with the Umbrella Corporation, you know, there's a bunch of scientists, and they have the police. They have the police force. They're experimenting on people, and it's a corporation, the Umbrella Corporation. And now that I think of it, guys, Amazing Polly had a video, and she's on BitChute. I had been trying to find her videos for a long time. Amazing Polly has a video talking about how the pharmaceutical companies, and how they have taken over. They've captured all the health departments and basically the whole medical industry. And she but the difference is, instead of just the corporation, she actually shows you who the people are. She shows you who the people are, and that's what we have to do, guys, because these corporations, they're not liable. You can't hit them up for anything, for any of the things that they've done. But there are faces behind those corporations. And so I'm gonna leave a link, guys, in the video, and I'm gonna leave you an article talking about the corporations and how especially these tech companies wanting to create their own cities where they will have they will have their own sovereign laws. And really, if you think about it, they're already making their own laws with these lobbyists, and then making us follow them when they're basically corporations that favor them. They're the ones that benefit from them. So a lot of people have talked about this, and they've gotten a bad rap for it, because and they were labeled as sovereign citizens. Okay, they're labeled as that, and so they're right away they fall into the category of domestic terrorists, because they try to show proof that no corporation can, and i.e. a government, can rule over a flesh and blood human being. And so, and in theory, they're right. In theory, you know, natural law, they're right. God's law, they're correct. You know, there is a maxim of law, guys, and you can look it up. There is a maxim of law. there's a few maxims of law, but check it out. One of the maxims of law is that a corporation and a natural person cannot intermingle. A flesh and blood human being and a corporation cannot intermingle. In other words, guys, they cannot contract. Y'all just remember that, because everything is about contracts. Everything in this world. Also, another maxim of law is what was the other one? Just had it in my. I was just gonna say it. Oh, the other maxim of law, guys, is all laws are commercial in nature. All laws are commercial in nature, and actually, that's not a maxim of law. It's actually a ruling by the Supreme Court of the United States, and I'll look that up for you guys. What that court case was. But all laws are commercial, guys. Meaning, this is. I'm not trying to jump around here, but in order for all crimes are commercial. All laws are commercial. Okay, but that means that not every law is a crime. If you break a certain law, it's not a crime. What's happening is that they've made some things are illegal, and that's different from things being unlawful. So that's something to keep in mind, guys, that these people have superimposed their system, their commercial system, the law of the seas and their merchant empire, their merchant laws. They will superimpose it over our natural laws. Over, some people get it confused and they talk about the law of the land or whatever, right? But the law of the land, yes, it used to be technically the law that the people had made up, as opposed to the law of the seas, which is the law of money. And that is what we're being ruled by, guys. Is the law of money, the law of the seas, commercial law, or maritime admiralty law. And I guess a lot of content creators haven't brought this up because it gets flagged right away. I'll admit it's like a red herring. It's so convoluted. The laws that they have made, the process to be able to get away from this, it's become so convoluted that you can't get out of it. And when you do find that path, they shut it down. They put a roadblock over it. And that's the truth, guys. That's the truth. This whole world is all about money. And what happened was they used that money as a tool. They used that money as a tool to take over the world. And that's what we're seeing right now, because people got greedy. I'm talking about everybody. People got greedy. They love their credit. They love their credit cards, and they love the deals instead of buying what you have in your hands with what you could afford. If you didn't have the money, then you didn't buy it. So they use money as a tool, guys. They use money from the future that you didn't even have yet, and that's what they did. The Federal Reserve and these central banks with their money creation schemes. For where they only have to have $1. They only have to have $1 for every 9 that they claim on their balance sheet or whatever. So they create money out of thin air, and this is what happened. So the corporations, guys, right now what we're seeing is the rise of the corporations, and it's been going on for a long time. The corporation is very ancient. They're old. From what I can remember, the first corporations were created in Rome. Although I'm not sure that's really correct, because the people of the Phoenicians, which they're the ones that were the seafarers, they're the ones that came out with if I'm not mistaken, they came out with the Uniform Commercial Code. It was from their dealings where that UCC came out. and it was all commercial, guys. So the reason I'm bringing this up, guys, is because we're fighting our natural rights, and our you know our the rights that we have as a human being, because we are there's nothing more important than us, the individual, guys. You can talk about the society and all that, but like I've told y'all before, that's a fallacy. And we've let corporations which do not even exist. They only exist on paper. We've let them run our lives, and they use them as vehicles to take over. They've used them as vehicles to take over the world, and there's very little we can do. There's very little we can do about it as far as targeting who is it that is responsible for our misery. Because they hide behind the corporation. They have limited liability, and they all like, well, it wasn't us, it was the corporation. But I just wanted to bring that up, guys. I wanted y'all to bring that to your attention, and I don't know, maybe some of y'all have not seen it through that angle, that we're going up against not people, not one individual person, but against these entities that really they only exist on paper. Well, these entities are actually telling us how to live our lives, and I think that's bullshit. I think it's bullshit, and people gotta wake up and honestly, guys, you have to read up on the law. You have to read up on the law and learn what your rights are. Because if you don't know what your rights are, then you don't have any. And these people, these things, these evil, dark things are gonna keep on running our lives. And I know a lot of y'all are aware of what I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about these terms that they use to smear what a lot of people are trying to do, or that we're they use that term, the sovereign citizen. They use it to make us out to be domestic terrorists, or stuff like that. But they're always creating terms to box us in and besmirch our names or whatever, when all it is the truth. I mean, where's the lie? All we want to do is live our own lives and be healed. If we break the law, remember, guys, if there's no body, there's no crime. That's corpus delicti. With no body, if there's no body, if nobody's been harmed, then there's no crime. Yet they can do that to us. These corporations are harming us, and there's no liability for them. Again, I think that's bullshit, and excuse my language, but all of this is bullshit. And what's bullshit is all these people that are just going along with it, just they're basically walking right into bondage, as if it wasn't bad enough already. We've been in bondage since time out of mind, but they just made it worse. And that really burns me up, because my children I'm not gonna let them live like that. There's a saying that the truth shall set you free, guys, and that's so true. And the truth is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I'm gonna try to live by example. I'm gonna try to do better, because that's what it's gonna take, guys. We're going up against a dark, in my opinion, a dark and demonic entity that's taken over this world. That's why it's so hard to do anything about it. That's why it's so hard, and people are under a spell. But again, guys, I don't mean to ramble, but I just thought that it was. I saw that story yesterday about how the Federal Reserve is buying up their own debt, and I was like, man, these people, they get to create the money and profit by it. Their chairmen have been caught already, in the stock market. It's right in your face, guys. All these big pharma, the military industrial complex, the medical industry, they're buying up everything with this money, and they're starting to make the laws. They are making laws. They are making laws already, and they're not governing bodies. They don't have. It's all color of law, but I am happy to see that people are standing up for themselves and standing up and fighting back. So anyway, guys, it just burns me up that these things are running our lives. Just burns me up. So that makes it even more important when I say that we got to take care of each other and love each other out there. We really do. Y'all have a great day, guys.